Rudy, say hi. You wanna make some chop? You wanna make some chop? Hey guys, welcome back. It is Saturday morning, which means it is chop day in this crazy household. Today, Rudy and I are gonna be bringing you 3 different chop recipes. The first one's gonna be a very solid base to feed every single day. The second one, a more high fiber, more high protein based chop. And the third one, a very special treat to feed to make sure you're hitting those variety of micronutrients in your parrot's diet. So without further ado, let's get chopping. So I've gone ahead and soaked all my vegetables in a baking soda solution with water just to get all those pesticides off. I try to buy organic, and I recommend you do too, because it reduces the amount of pesticides used on these fruits and veggies. But if you don't have that option, a vinegar soak or a baking soda soak is a really good way to minimize those pesticides, but make sure you rinse all your veggies and fruits thoroughly before you chop them up and add them to the recipe. The first one we're gonna be jumping into is what I call my veggie tail chop. It's a quinoa base. Now you can use your quinoa raw or cooked in this recipe. It's just really your bird's preference. We all know we have some picky eaters on our hands. So a quinoa base with broccoli, Brussels sprouts, snap peas, carrots, bell peppers, and zucchini. That's gonna be our first recipe, so let's get chopping. Okay, so we've got our broccoli, zucchini, our assorted bell peppers, we've got our snap peas, Brussels sprouts. If you wanna save some time, I usually buy them pretty much pre-cut, but we're gonna chop them even finer, and then some shredded carrots. I'm gonna add the quinoa last. Personally, this time, I feel like this is gonna be pretty wet because of the zucchini and the bell peppers. I'm actually gonna add raw quinoa into this one. Sometimes I do it cooked, sometimes I do it raw. Rudy likes it both ways, thank goodness. So it's just whatever I'm feeling this round. Get my handy dandy bowl out. And I'm gonna start with the carrots actually. And these I'm pretty much gonna leave the same size they're cut into. They're pre-washed, there's no preservatives, so it is literally just carrots and a little bit of water to keep them moist. And I'm gonna add about half a cup of these. I like to give different sizes and different textures in the chop because Rudy seems to be a big fan of the bigger chunks. He doesn't necessarily love a super fine minced chop, so mine's gonna be a bit chunkier than you've probably seen in other videos where people use a food processor. But if you have a picky little parrot who needs it to be minced, I recommend grabbing a food processor, cutting up these vegetables and sticking them in there to get that really fine mince. And for this recipe, we're going to use about 1/3 of this zucchini. And I'm gonna just cut it like that. I'm gonna set the rest of this aside for a later chop recipe. Just trim here. And I'm gonna leave the skin on. You can peel it if you're worried about pesticides or anything like that. And like I said, I like to do different consistencies in my chop, so I'm actually gonna put some of these bigger pieces in. See, he just grabbed a whole slice. I'm gonna put some of these bigger pieces in this bowl over here, and then I wanna cut the rest pretty fine. Give this another rough chop here, and then I'll probably call that good. Okay, next up, let's add in our Brussels sprouts. A half cup. Chopping away. Our chop is starting to look like chop. Up next is our broccoli. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about 1/3 of this. So if you have a picky eater and you want to introduce them to broccoli, one little trick you can do is kind of shave the top of this like this, and look, it kind of looks like little seeds. Rudy's getting hungry, I can tell. He's trying to crawl down my arm to get to this. But yeah, it looks like little seeds, and it kind of tricks them into eating their veggies. A lot of these are gonna be for foraging treats, but I'm gonna add just a handful in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of roughly chop these up because I really want Rudy to kind of explore them and try and open them up and try and get those sweet little peas inside. So I don't want to cut them too fine because I really want to encourage that natural activity of breaking open the pod. So I'm just gonna add them like that. You can see in there, that's a great little opportunity for him to forage. We've got our chop coming along. So we need about 1 red bell pepper. Now for this one, I'm gonna use about half of this green bell pepper. Nice and diced. So add it to the mixture. So I'm gonna take about a cup of raw quinoa, soak it for a little while, and then add it back into the mix. I usually top the chop with some sort of sprout, whether it's lentil, millet, or quinoa sprouted. Those are usually my 3 go-tos. You can see Rudy wants some, he's getting hungry. But this is not quite ready. I'd give it, the tails are starting to turn green, so I'd give it 1 more day. But I usually don't freeze this in the mix. I continuously sprout throughout the week and then just add it as a topper, mix it into the chop. Okay, so the next chop recipe we're going to be doing is the Mighty Munch, and this is packed with fiber and protein. We've got fiber from the oats and lentils, protein from the lentils, fiber from the zucchini, and then our rich cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. So this is a really excellent one to feed every few days just to make sure you're hitting some of these micronutrients. I feed it every 3 days or so, but I like to make it in a mass batch, so I always have it on hand. And like I said before, this veggie tail chop, this is the main chop. I feed this almost every single day. So every 3 days I'll feed this one, and then I'll go back to feeding this main one, and then every 3 days I'll alternate it with the rainbow crunch, which we're gonna look at next. So I really wanna make sure there's a ton of variety in my parrot's diet. I wanna make sure we're hitting those micronutrients, because if you keep the same chop all year round, you're missing out on some of those natural micronutrients they would get in the wild, where they have this sometimes of the year and then they don't have it other times of the year. So it's really important to make sure you have a balanced variety approach to your parrot's diet. Before we get too into this, I want to just state that lentils, you never offer these raw. Don't ever offer raw lentils. They need to be at least sprouted or soaked and cooked, okay? So we're actually gonna cook these lentils. I'm gonna put these in a pot and simmer them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure they're pretty pliable, not complete mush, but they're pretty cooked. So we don't want them al dente where they're gonna be crunchy, but we don't want them complete mush. We want that right in the middle. So I'm going to do a cup of lentils for this, a cup of oats, which we're gonna do raw, a third of the zucchini, half a cup of these Brussels sprouts, and then the 1 more third of this broccoli. And I've also added, we're going to take the tops of these radish leaves and we're gonna add them to the mix. So I cut that third of zucchini, chopped it up into a fine to medium dice. So we've got the broccoli chopped up, just like before. I'm gonna add it to the base mixture. All that goodness in there. Get as much of those fine little chopped florets as we can in there, because like I said, it's a great gateway vegetable for some picky eaters because it does mimic seeds, so it kind of tricks them into eating their vegetables. About a cup of Brussels sprouts. And we're gonna do the same thing we did before, and we're gonna chop them up super fine. So I'm gonna scoop that in. Looking very green, very fibrous. Okay, and now we're gonna add something that a lot of people do not add to their chop, but it is a great source of fiber and vitamins. So I'm gonna add these radish tops in, and we'll use the rest of the radish in the next recipe. That looks pretty good. Let's add it to the mix. Really let those oats marinate, and again, once we add the lentils in, they're really going to start sucking up that excess moisture. Okay, guys, I have strained and rinsed my cooked lentils, so I'm going to pop these in there. And if you recall, we made about a cup of lentils, so I'm only putting half in here. We're going to use the other half for the next recipe, the rainbow crunch chop. And that looks like a great mix, very balanced, packed a punch of protein and fiber in this one. And just to reiterate, this is not the everyday chop. I do not feed this every single day. I feed this about every 3 or 4 days. But this will last me about a month because, like I said, I don't feed it every single day. So that one is good to go. Now, let's move on to the rainbow crunch chop, which is definitely the messiest one. That's why I saved it for last. It is super colorful. It is a big treat. There is lots of sugar in this one, so it's more so a special occasion chop, not an everyday staple diet. And I'll explain some of the ingredients and why you don't want to feed them every single day for your parrot. So let's get into that one. Let's go over the ingredients first. As you can see, I've got a yellow bell pepper and some carrots here. Now these tend to be higher in sugar, so we definitely want a base that's going to neutralize the sugar levels in our bird's system. So I've got the rest of that zucchini. I've got broccoli. This is going to be our base. We're going to chop those up. We're going to add some radishes. This is a great source of fiber, by the way. We're gonna add some beets, which are also high in sugar. So again, that's why we want the zucchini to kind of stabilize that. And we're just gonna use one beet. We're not gonna go crazy with it, but we are gonna use the beetroot and the leaves as well, because this is gonna add some vitamin A, some calcium, and some fiber, which is really great. Sometimes birds are vitamin A deficient, so you definitely wanna focus on that and make sure they're getting not too much vitamin A, but just enough. And then this is an optional ingredient right here, which is red cabbage. Now, cabbage can inhibit the absorption of calcium in a bird, so it's not something I would recommend as a staple. This is an optional ingredient. I'm gonna use just a little bit of it, and not too much, but we also have a ton of calcium coming from the zucchini, coming from here, so hopefully it'll kind of balance things out. Half a cup of carrots. And I'm not gonna make a super big chop batch of this just because I do not feed it very frequently, probably once a week. So let's chop up these radishes. We're gonna use half of this bell pepper, I think. Maybe the whole thing. This is kind of small. Let's use the whole thing. I'll put a couple of these to the side for some foraging activities. I kind of got a little pile going of bigger pieces because I like these little kebabs that kind of hang from the top of the cage, and you basically skewer the vegetable on there or the fruit if it's a treat situation, and it provides, you know, just something different from them eating outside of a bowl. They have to figure out, you know, I have to climb to it, I have to get onto the little kebab thing, because I kind of make it difficult for Rudy. He has to think about how he's going to get on there, and then they pick it off from the kebab. So it's a cool little mentally engaging, kind of a mini foraging activity. So I kind of have a pile going of just veggies I'm gonna put to the side throughout the week and stick in there as fun little engagement. I'm gonna take the rest of that broccoli. You can add the whole thing in. I'm gonna take some pieces for that foraging I was mentioning just off so I can skewer them and make them just, you know, more fun, just provide some variety. And then I'm gonna cut this, and I'm actually gonna peel it because we don't want the skin in our chop. And be careful with your fingers because I almost literally just sliced my finger off. And you also have the option of cooking your beets too. I'm gonna serve mine raw because I think raw is almost always better. Except in the case of lentils where those absolutely need to be cooked. Okay, this is gonna look like a literal bloody mess, but now that the cutting board's looking scary, let's add this to the mix as well. Cut those little bits off though, we don't need those. And then I'm literally gonna take this much cabbage. Like I said, I'm not going overboard with the cabbage just because it can sometimes inhibit calcium intake for our birds. But it does have some of those lesser vitamins that are needed, so every once in a while it can be a little treat. Like I said, this is the treat chop. It's gorgeous, isn't it, guys? All right, let's add our lentils in. Let's mix this all in. And now that my quinoa has been soaking that whole time we were prepping, I'm gonna add it. Oh, there's a few lentils in there. But I'm gonna add it into that veggie tail chop. Okay, guys, those are the 3 chops. We have the veggie tail, the mighty munch, and the rainbow crunch. So we've got everything prepped. This should last me about 3 months, no joke. So what I do is I usually, yes, Rudy, I know. What I do is I usually portion them in Tupperware about this big and freeze them. So the only thing you need to worry about is having enough freezer space. And what I do is I'll just take one of these out, throw it in the fridge, have it thaw overnight, and this will usually last me 2 to 3 days at a time. So all this said and done, it only took me about 2.5 hours, 3 hours to prepare 3 months worth of chop. And that was with filming, so hopefully you guys can do that much quicker. The recipes and everything will be linked below. So I'm gonna get to portioning all this chop. Rudy's gonna probably get to eating, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Rudy and I would really appreciate it. We can't wait to hear from you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Say bye, Rudy.